Ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back into another NBA edition show of Key Time Sports. It's Key Time coming back to talk about the Golden State Warriors and where I see them ending up at the end of this season. So right now the Golden State Warriors are at the 10th spot in the West. If the playoffs started today, they would be in the play-in tournament at 28 and 27. But I am going to tell you all that the Golden State Warriors, they have defensive lapses, and I don't think that they will be able to overcome those lapses when it comes to the playoffs. So I am going to give you all their entire roster right now with the addition of Jimmy Butler III, Yuri Collins, Stephen Curry, Draymond Green, Buddy Hield, Tyrese Jackson Davis, Kevin Knox II, Jonathan Kuminga, Kevon Looney, Moses Moody, Gary Payton, Brandon Podziemski, Quentin Post, Gus Santos, and Pat Spencer. And they are led by Steve Kerr. And what I'm going to give you all now is historical stats when it comes to the Golden State Warriors over the past couple of years. When it comes to their records over the last few years have pretty much fallen off, and you can see from right here. From right here. They want so since the Steph Curry era has started, it was pretty much average between the first 3 to 4 years of the Steph Curry era. Then in 2013, they make it to the conference semifinals, lose. Then they make it to the following season, they make it to the first round and lose. And then in 2015, they win the finals over the Cavaliers. Everybody knows that. Then the next year they lose the finals 73-9 to the Cavaliers. And then the next 2 years they beat the Cavaliers back to back years. Then they go to the finals for a fifth straight year and lose to the Toronto Raptors to win their first championship. And then 19, 20, 15 and 50, worst team in the league. 2021, 39 and 33, they just did miss out on the playoffs. Then 21 and 22, they won the NBA Finals. The following season, they lost in the Western Conference semis. Last year, last year they didn't make it to the playoffs, and this year they are currently on the outside looking in. Now, let me tell you, this is not the same Golden State Warriors team from years past. Klay Thompson is in the Lone Star State now. Draymond Green, he has just been a shell of himself. I don't even know why they still have Draymond Green on the roster, because what he has done, I'm going to say, with Draymond Green, what he has done, they say that he is the glue player, the glue guy for the Golden State Warriors. But but when it comes to Draymond Green, he ain't done nothing in the past 4 or 5 years. When you look at his stats, he ain't done nothing in the past 4 or 5 years. And even this season, you can see where he hasn't done nothing. And as far as career points, he's only averaged 8.7 points. So you're paying this guy. Let's see now when it comes to Draymond Green. You're paying him $24 million, and he is not giving you he is not giving you the amount of production play that a $24 million man should get. Now, three guys on the Golden State Warriors roster have more than $20 million in their as far as their salary. Jimmy Butler, $48 million, Steph Curry, $55 million, and Draymond Green, like I said a few minutes ago, $24 million. So all of the other guys, they are on lower amount contracts. You have Buddy Hield that has $8 million. Trace Jackson Davis, got 1.8. Jonathan Kuminga, 7.6. Kevon Looney, $8 million. Moses Moody, $5.8 million. Gary Payton, 9.1. Brandon Podzaski, 3.5. And then you have Gu Santos, 1.8. And then you have Yuri Collins, Kevin Knox II, Quentin Post, then Pat Spencer. You have them all on separate contracts, two-way contracts, or have them playing at the league minimum as far as salary concerned. So when you see what the Golden State Warriors have, now let me tell you, now Golden State, they are just an average team right now. Just the average team. You have Steph Curry, he's pretty much doing everything in his power to keep this team afloat. That's what he is doing right now. And when you look at everybody else stats throughout the season, you can see, even with the addition of Jimmy Butler, there's still going to be a significant drop off. And as you can see, when it comes to players, Steph Curry, 23.4 points throughout the season. Jimmy Butler, 21.3 points. Andrew Wiggins, 17.6 points. Jonathan Kuminga, 16.8 points. Buddy Hield, 11.5. Dennis Schroeder, 10.6. DeAnthony Melton, 10.3. Brandon Podzaski, 9.7. Moses Moody, 9.2. Draymond Green, 8.5. Trey Jackson Davis, 7.6. Quentin Post, 7.5. Lindy Waters III, 5.5. Gary Payton, 5.3. Kyle Anderson, 5.3. Kevon Looney, 5 points. Guy Santos, 3.9. Pat Spencer, 3.0. Jackson Rowe, 2.5. Reese Beckman, 1 point. He has averaged throughout the season, and that is the season statistics for every player on the Golden State Warriors roster. Now, everybody is saying, what is the Golden State Warriors? Is there a big three in Golden State? Nah, not really. But if there was a big three in Golden State, it would be Steph Curry, Jimmy Butler, and Andrew Wiggins. See, Draymond Green, what they have said about him over the years, he is just a glue guy. And at this point, that's all he is. He should be a coach for the Golden State Warriors, an assistant coach. That's what he should be. But the three guys that I mentioned, Steph Curry, Jimmy Butler III, and Andrew Wiggins, let's see their remaining schedule and let's see how many games that they can win. Because from what I see, when it comes to the Golden State Warriors, I believe that they have an opportunity to make some noise. Now, tonight's game, they have Sacramento. Sacramento is also a team that's in the same boat with them. if I'm not mistaken, the Sacramento Kings are the ninth spot in the West right now. And I'm going to do a segment on the Sacramento Kings later on next week. So, but as far as the Golden State Warriors, let me get back to them. When it comes to their schedule, this is their remaining schedule. Now they have 29 games remaining on their schedule. Starting tonight, there could be a potential play-in tournament matchup, Sacramento Kings and Golden State Warriors. Then they have the Dallas Mavericks. They have the Dallas Mavericks one more time. Then they have the Charlotte Hornets, Orlando Magic, Philadelphia 76ers, Charlotte, the New York Knicks, Brooklyn Nets, the Detroit Pistons, Portland Trail Blazers, Sacramento again on March the 13th. And then they end out the season over the last 5 games with Houston, Phoenix, San Antonio, Portland, and the LA Clippers. So now, their remaining games, I can see Golden State out of the next 27, 28, 29, 30 games. I could see them going 15-15, 16 and 14, or I could see them going 13-15 because the games that they are going to play against Denver, they play Denver twice on March 17th and on April 14th. April 4th. I think that they are going to have a problem with the Denver Nuggets. And the Denver Nuggets, let me tell you all, earlier this month, I said the Denver Nuggets, they have severe bench problems. Their bench is not like it was when they won the championship. Golden State's bench is not like it was when they won the championship 4 years ago. Pretty much the Golden State Warriors, they have been on a decline ever since they won the championship in 21. That's what it's been. And when you see their remaining schedule, outside of that, now they do have a couple layups here. They have the Charlotte Hornets twice. Then they have the Philadelphia 76ers. Then they have Brooklyn. They have Portland. And then they get into the final stretch of the season starting March 17th through April 13th. And they pretty much have most of their remaining schedule after March 17th is going to be against either teams fighting for a play-in tournament spot or teams that are already in the playoff bracket. Now, Denver, Milwaukee, they are already going to be in the playoff bracket. Toronto, they'll have a chance at beating Toronto. Atlanta, fighting for a play-in spot. Miami, fighting for a play-in spot. New Orleans, they are out of the playoffs. San Antonio, they are out of the playoffs. And everybody, please send your thoughts and prayers to Victor Wembanyama and his family, because we do not need another great player losing his career because of blood clots. Chris Bosh lost his career because of blood clots, and that is a very serious medical situation. So hopefully the San Antonio Spurs team, doctors, the hospitals in San Antonio can do everything in their power to make sure that Victor Wembanyama is 100% so that he can get back on the hardwood, and all NBA fans and sports journalists like myself will be able to see Victor Wembanyama in tip-top shape. So that's all I have for Victor Wembanyama. Now back to the Golden State Warriors. Then they have on April 1st Memphis. Then here's the gauntlet of their schedule. Everybody, with the exclusion of Portland, everybody that they play from April 1st to April 13th, with the exclusion of Portland, they are fighting for a playoff spot. So you have Memphis, Los Angeles, Denver, Houston, Phoenix, of all teams, still fighting for a playoff spot. I said Phoenix yesterday would be tough sledding. Last night, Phoenix lost their game last night. Then they have San Antonio again. San Antonio is pretty much with Victor Wembanyama. I mentioned a few seconds ago, they are shutting him down for the rest of the season. Then you have Portland. Now Portland is a good team. I believe they are just playing in the wrong conference. And when I say that, I mean that when it comes to the Western Conference, anybody can come out of the Western Conference. The Clippers, they are an average team. They can come out of the Western Conference too. And when you see these standings, outside of, let's say, there are only two teams after the Golden State Warriors. Well, basically, one team now, and pretty much Phoenix, they really not going anywhere. So I would not be surprised if the Western Conference bracket stays exactly where it's at. Everybody in the Western Conference stays exactly the same where they are at now. As far as the Eastern Conference, now the Eastern Conference standings, they can move a little bit between now and the end of the regular season. But back to what I was saying, my final statements for the Golden State Warriors. Do I even see them making the playoffs? They can make the play-in tournament, but then when they make the play-in tournament, can they win a game or two in the play-in tournament to get them to the playoffs? And as I've been telling you all throughout this show, the Golden State Warriors, their bench production has been on a decline throughout the entirety of this season. Earlier this season, Steve Kerr, he was playing 10 to 12 people every game. Now, since Golden State is dealing with some injuries, and then you have Steph Curry doing everything he can to try and keep the Golden State Warriors afloat, I think in the end, it'll all be for naught. I don't see the Golden State Warriors making it very far in the playoffs. I see them making the play-in tournament, but if they don't lose the first game of the play-in tournament, they will lose the second game of the play-in tournament, because every other team that is in the play-in tournament bracket now, Minnesota, they have a better bench than the Golden State Warriors. Sacramento Kings, I believe that they are going to drop. Sacramento Kings, they are starting to experience some slippage a little bit. The Dallas Mavericks, Anthony Davis, he is out. He is day by day. Nobody knows if he is going to come back for the playoffs. So the Dallas Mavericks, they are in limbo right now. The Minnesota Timberwolves, they are the only team in the play-in tournament that I have confidence when it comes to playing in the Western Conference. Now, Minnesota, they the type of team that they don't care what type of record they have with Anthony Edwards. Anthony Edwards believes that he can beat all top 6 of those teams in the Western Conference. And he should believe that he can do that, because he is the leader of the Minnesota Timberwolves. And the Minnesota Timberwolves, they are going to make the playoffs. I don't know where the Clippers, they might be a play-in team. And I see right now where the Clippers and Minnesota Timberwolves, they have the same amount of wins at 31. So for the Golden State Warriors, for their remaining schedule, their last 27, 28 games, I only see them winning 14, maybe 15 games. And the other games that they will lose will be because of lack of defensive efficiency and lack of bench production. And with that, that is my remaining season outlook for the Golden State Warriors. Please like, comment, share, subscribe, click the notification bell to get notified of all of my reaction videos, shows, and other content. Please like, share, and follow Key City Sports on Instagram. We are doing an expansion on Keytown Sports and Instagram. So everybody who watches the show every day, everybody who watches, who has watched my content on Instagram, Key City Sports, we are going through an expansion, and you do not want to miss out on what I will be saying. Now, the NBA playoffs are right around the corner. There will be a lot of times where I will be giving out 3-minute reaction videos to what playoff series and particular game that I just saw. So keep a watchful eye. Keep a watchful eye out for those 3-minute reaction videos. And also, please hit the like, follow, subscription, share, subscribe button. Click the notification bell to get notified of all of my reaction videos on both Keytown Sports and Key City Sports shows. And remember, one last thing, the key will always be on time.